Before this video begins, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my channel members who you can see on screen now. Become a member by hitting the join button and get your name here among other awards today. Hello there and welcome back to some more Forza Horizon 3. Today we're continuing on Let's Play. This is episode 4. I'm going to probably say Horizon 4 a lot during this. In today's episode we're going to be expanding our festival site and seeing what happens from there. So let's go ahead and expand our festival. In the meantime, I'm going to swap controller batteries out very quickly. Oh no, it's going to not show this cutscene. Slight shame.
What do you think of surfers? Pretty amazing. From the waves to the beach, to the tarmac, to the driver's seat and back again.
So, there we go. Festival has been expanded, and now that we've expanded the festival, usually the way this works is the game will now offer us a bunch of cars at cut price. So essentially it'll give us 10% off any of these cars. Although I'm not particularly interested in buying any of these cars, so we will let the offer expire and we will drive a car ourselves. Let's see what our new events are, and
When you're ready
yeah,
to
pretty
drive
much.
again, you might want to take a look at these.
There you go, we have a whole host of new events. There is, of course, the championship that we can do there now, which we won't be doing, and then a bunch of undiscovered routes, a couple of PR stunts, and so on and so forth. So we will probably make our way up here at first, but we need a car before we continue onwards. So let's have a look through the auto show and see what tickles our pickle. What do we want to go for? I will sort this by affordable, and we shall see what we want. I'm not actually sure what I want to drive in today's episode. Got quite a bit of money to spend up though, so let's have a look through and see what sparks our interest. Probably won't be another sports utility car, because I don't want one of those. I've used enough of them. Kind of want to use something with the wide body kit, actually. I think that's something I do want to target for today. That could be an idea. Maybe the RCF. Subarus. Of course, Toyotas. I'm thinking I like the idea of that RCF. So let's go ahead and use that with the wide body kit. Yes, could be, but now. I kind of like the white, so let's go ahead and buy this for 75,000 credits. And move on. Are you looking for the song list for this game? Fair play. Right, I will now quickly show you how the wide body kits work in this game. So, essentially, once you buy a car, you can go ahead and scroll over to the upgrade shop. You'll see a little one. Now you have the option of using the preset, which essentially makes the car sort of set up and ready to go. Alternatively, you can come over to the conversion tab and it will appear there, and you can select bits of the body kit individually to put on the car. We are just going to go straight for the preset, which is going to cost us 40,000 credits, but we can spend that, so we will spend that. So let's go ahead and apply that to the car, and I will do a few other upgrades to it just to, I don't know, just because. We definitely want the weight reduction. I believe because it's on the preset, it should give it the widest tyres as well as race tyres. Depending on the wide body kit you go for, the wings are adjustable, although it does depend, and of course it gives you race suspension by default. Everything else is pretty much up to the game. Certain cars gain a little bit more power, other cars do not. It really depends on how the game is feeling. So we will add a little bit more power to the RCF, just because we can. Usually I don't expand displacement, but apparently I have done this time around. So there's 16 grand, brings us up to 637 horsepower, 3,000 pounds of weight. Pretty much everything the Mark IV Supra was. Expensive, heavy, pretty fun to drive, and has loads of mod potential. I'm not a huge fan of the RCF personally, I've got to be perfectly honest, but I chose it because it has the most ridiculous body kit, or it has probably the most ridiculous wing you can get in the game, and also because I wanted to show off the wide body feature. So, let's go ahead and explore a little bit, see what we can find, and get ourselves a few more race events in the bag. Make sure we can get our way up to the showcase event, which we are going to unlock at the end of this as well. There's a Yaris in traffic, trying to kill it. Or maybe I should aim for the Yarises. I don't know. We'll figure out later on. Tramline sprint, let's go and see what we can do in our RCF. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure how this is going to drive. It's probably not going to drive particularly nicely, but we'll give it a go. It reminds me of the ISF from GT5. It actually kind of does. I will say, yeah, the RCF, the one thing it does have is it does make me turn my head a bit when I see one, because I'm not used to seeing RCs at all. But other than that, yeah, I just don't think it's a particularly good looking car. It's a very divisive car, the RCF. I'm not a huge fan of the idea behind it as well, where it's got this big sort of lazy V8 in it and all the rest of it. I think there's much better cars than the RCF on the market. There's of course a reason why these things have depreciated as fast as they have. I mean, in terms of this category, you've got the BMW M4, which isn't a particularly interesting vehicle, but it certainly is better handling, won't depreciate as much, a little bit more sort of widely accepted, I guess. Got this guy trying to block my way onto the thing. Alright, see you later, Nicholas. You've got the BMW M4, you've got the Audi RS5, which is incredibly expensive, and also Audi... I know, Audi for some people isn't quite there yet. I personally quite like the RS5, but you got them... Ooh, Jesus Christ. You've got the Mercedes C-Class, which looks like it's melting. Sorry, it just does. And then other than that, you've just got a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, Infinities, you know, I mean, the Q60, again, probably isn't there yet. I keep missing checkpoints, I do apologise, but everyone's just in the fucking way of the checkpoints. That's my excuse, anyway. I mean, personally, if I was looking for a car in this segment, there are cars I'd much rather go for, personally. But the OCF, it's... like I said, an acquired taste. If you are looking for an old-school sports car, if you are looking for, perhaps, say, an E92 M3, but you want something newer with better technology and more reliability, much more reliability, because Lexus, the RCF might be the car for you. But for me, personally, I would probably go for one of the 6-cylinder options this car. Honestly, out of every car that I listed, I think the M4 might be the one I go for. I really don't like the M4. Well, I'm not a huge fan of the BMW M4, but it is just a good vehicle, good all-round vehicle. Remember why the wheel menu was so good? Yes, before all the wheels were in one big line. It is polarizing. It is one. The RCF is definitely a talking point. It's definitely Lexus. Ever since they've sort of gone for the in-your-face design, while the cars are very much in-your-face, they're still very much sort of the sensible old vehicles they used to be. The RCF really was one car that was very divisive. Yeah, C6 Corvette for cheap. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go down that route.
Did you know that?
Mad Bimmer. That is a terrible livery. I didn't look at what the liveries were for this, but I'm assuming some of it was not quite as pretty as some other bits of it. We are going to get a wheel spin though, so that's cool. Escort Cosworth Horizon Edition is the biggest thing we can get in this prize pool. Of course, we're not going to get that, but we are going to get 50 grand, which at the moment I'd rather have the money than the cars, personally. Alright. You see, now you're doing this one thing that I hate when car enthusiasts do, when they're like, oh, well, I'd rather buy a car on the used market and do this. It's like, I'm not asking that. Like, yeah, sure, you can buy a better car than the RCF on the used market,
When it is safe to do
but
so.
I'm not asking that. We're not talking that, are we? Just, you know. Yes, there's better cars than the RCF on the used market. If I had the money to buy an RCF, I would buy a Lexus LS 600H and pay someone to drive me around in it, because I want to get the real luxury entertainment package. But we aren't talking that. We're talking strictly sports coupes that are brand new. Anyways, bit of a rant there. North City Circuit, let's go. Apparently there was someone else who's made a thing for this, but there you go. Yeah, I will say this wide body kit does help the RCF, the way it looks. There's a Tesla here. I forgot Teslas were in this game. This would actually be the final Forza game where you can find a Tesla in it, actually. Wait, is it? Does Forza 7 have a Tesla and I'm just forgetting? I'm fairly certain it doesn't. This might be the final game that features Teslas. So. Yeah, exactly. If it's a moot point, because I'm asking specifically in the context of buy a sports coupe for 65 grand, I'm not saying buy a used car for 65 grand. And then of course you'll get that one jackass who's like, I would rather just buy a house. It's like, yes. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Teslas are in this, yes. There is a Model S. Do not for the life of me ask me what Model S it is, but it is a Model S. But yeah, the RCF is a very... It does look a lot cooler when you put this body kit on it, I do have to say. And again, the wing is ridiculous, and I am painfully in love with this wing. If nothing else, I'm in love with this wing, because it is stupid. The interior is quite nice in the RCF as well. Lexus interiors as of late are a little bit hit or miss for me, but personally, when it comes to the RCF, it has got quite a nice interior. Yeah, never heard of that. $100k and you can't sell for profit. A Jesco? What the fuck's a Jesco? I'm a little bit worried about these sort of high-powered cars for Surfers Paradise. If you're going to build a car for racing in and around Surfers Paradise, I would probably recommend something with all-wheel drive. Oh yeah, the Supra. I left the Supra out of that argument. The Supra exists. Buy the Z4, it's better. In like every single way. Oh, the new Koenigsegg. Yes, I know what you're on about. The new C8 Corvette I do quite like. I don't know if it'll be a good car or not, but it looks neat at least. And it's not a Camaro, which means I like it. And the Camaro's dying, which means I like it even more, because it's partly responsible. I'm just trying to figure out the thing of this wing. Like, does it really need those 2 extra supports at the back, or are they just there for style? They actually look like shocks in the worst bit, so I wonder if it's like partly adjustable? Very weird. Don't do convertibles, buy a hardtop for it, done. Anyways. And across the line. It's weird playing a Horizon game that doesn't have that sort of weird texturized finish thing the Horizon 4 theme was going for. As long as you ain't running out of money, I'm good with that. Another 12 grand. And some more XP. Still a while off our next wheel spin. Some more fans gained, and there we go. M3 is a thing. Well, it's going to be anyway. I think they're like probably waiting on bringing that new one. I personally disagree with the new Supra being a good looking car, but if you like it, then you like it. Anyways, we have a couple of PR stunts out here. Oh, sorry, we've got I keep messing these up. We've got a couple of... I forgot what they're called. Bucket list items out here. And there's also a couple of undiscovered bits and bobs here. So let's go ahead and discover them. The Tesla Model 3 would be a consideration for you, and this is why we don't listen to you. The next M3 could be interesting, though. I mean, I can see it more being an evolution than a revolution. I mean, the last real revolutionary M3 was whichever one moved away from the V8 again, back to the 6-cylinder. And then the one before that was the V8, and then the one before that was probably the 36, so... Alright, this is a danger sign. I am apparently cutting some grass in a Jaguar. Yeah, that seems about accurate. That's probably the car I'd buy out of everything. Probably an XFRS. That's kind of a neat car. We are so not making the target on this one yet. So, the one thing about the danger signs is you do actually have to land them, which is a bit of an issue. There we go. That actually probably wasn't too bad. You need a little bit more to...
Nice work, boss. 2 stars. 1 for skill, 1 for surviving. You might want to come back.
Oh, and we actually unlocked the showcase event. There we go.
Hey, Emile. Our little festival is going gangbusters. Seriously, you've brought so many fans to Horizon that they're already signed off on another showcase race. I have the perfect bit of insanity planned. Meet me here when you're ready.
Wonderful. Alright, we won't do that just yet, though. I might even save that for the next episode. If it's going to let me do that, or if I'm just going to be... Nope, never mind, it's forcing me to do it. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Freight expectations. Let's go ahead and move over to there. I was going to continue doing, or working through the stuff that we were doing, but nope, apparently the game wants me to head over and do the showcase event, so I guess we'll head over and do that. Although, actually, now that I think about it, let's try to maintain some grip in our little RCF here. It does like to spin the rear end up a bit, but again, that's sort of what happens when you put 600 horsepower through a rear-wheel drive chassis. Got mine to call me Bolt. I mean, I can't really blame you for choosing that name. That is a great name. I would also like to be called Bolt by the game. Oh god, cars. Many cars coming out of there. Can Anna shut up in this game? Absolutely not.
Turn left. Turn left.
Alright. So, our first showcase event of the game then. I guess we better go ahead and enter the event and see what we have to do. I'm judging by the fact that it's called something freight. It involves a freight train. I mean, that seems like kind of an obvious conclusion to come to, but you never know.
It's a freight train. Brilliant, isn't it? Word of warning, though. The course we designed crosses the tracks. You might want to get to those bits before it does.
So, we have a
Right on time.
2015 Camaro Z28 to race against a train. Now, I do have a bit of an issue with this one, mainly because, if you remember correctly, in Horizon 2 we did this, and, well, it involves a Lancia Fulvia. So apparently trains in Australia are much quicker than trains in Europe are, because the train in Europe couldn't beat a Lancia Fulvia, yet apparently the train over here is much too, well, is basically a competitor for a 7-litre, 505 horsepower muscle car. Thankfully, the Z28, while it is a bit dorky looking at the rear, is a pretty good looking car at the front. Probably my favourite generation of the modern Camaro. Although my favourite will probably still and always will be the 90s IROC Z. basically the one Rhino has. Like the best one. Yeah, the showcase events do sort of get progressively less interesting as the game goes on, it has to be said. This one is pretty cool though. I'm sure you like this one, Boost, because you made a ridiculous amount of videos involving the train in Horizon 3. Although, ironically, you never did the clickbait thing and just said, can you stop the train in Horizon 3? Which you probably should have done. This train has got a lot of freight on it. It has to be said. The Catfish Chimera is cool as well, yeah. So anyway, so it sort of sends you a bit out towards the outback of this game, which is... The main thing I remember this game for was the countless amount of lifeless desert. And you're starting to see a little bit of it now, and I'm sure in the next few episodes you will see quite a bit more of it. Personally not my thing, but there you go. At least the Z28 is a good handling car, at the very least. It is a rather good handling car. Even if the interior looks like, well, this is certainly a GM interior, it has to be said. Apparently we're winning. I don't know what counts as winning if, like, I don't know. I guess when you went through the checkpoint last, it counts as winning. And of course, in typical Horizon fashion, the train will now slow down towards the finish line as we pass it there. There we go. Yes, slightly scripted, but
You'd be a terrible
still cool.
train driver. You're early.
Perfect. So there we go. Let us go ahead and earn a little bit more money. And because this is a showcase event, it should be worth quite a lot of fans, if nothing much else. There we go. And then finally, yeah, 50. You get quite a lot of fans, and that instantly levels us up to the festival expansion. So that's good. Another festival expansion, which of course will mark the end of the episode as soon as we get back to the festival. Dollary dues.
Hey,
I
Emile,
refuse to refer to it as
Your
that.
official fan club doesn't fit in our marquee anymore. Time for another site expansion.
Alright, let's go ahead and... Well, actually, at this point we do have a choice. We can either upgrade our Byron Bay Festival or the Surfers Paradise Festival. I'm thinking Surfers Paradise probably, because it is a little bit closer to us.
Time to sign another station to the festival. What do you like the sound of?
What do I like the sound of? I still don't know what a Skrillex is. I still want to drown myself when I hear Blink 182. I don't know what a metric is, and I have no idea what any of that means. But he's called DJ Touch Sensitive, which sounds hilarious. So let's go with that.
Dance music courtesy of our Australian hosts. I'll sign the deal.
Oh, do we need to sign another one? Sure, whatever a Netsky is.
Hospital Records Radio. All drum and bass, all the time. You got it. Leave it to me.
Wonderful. Alright, let's move on. Can we race the train back? That's the real question here. I don't even know what that was. Was that a Ghibli? It kind of look like a Ghibli. Keep running into myself. Skrillex is dubstep. Right. As is telling me something is legit, which I've heard means in kid speak good. Actually, before we go ahead and expand the festival, we will go ahead and get rid of some more of these question marks, in keeping with the way we do these episodes, of course. Almost forgot about that. Apologies, I'm sure many people were truly begging to see what those question marks were, so... Oh, I killed an XP board slightly by accident. Go me. Where's Rise FM? I agree. Also, this game did have groove music support, although that has been killified, I think, at this point. And even if it hadn't, you couldn't play through my groove music because, well, that's what I play during the streams. There's a ICF there. ICF? ISF. Fuck me. Pretentious music for hipsters. Excellent, I love it. Because literally every other time that a game has ever had a hipster radio station in it, I quite liked it. Look at Radio Broker. Killified, yes. DJ Michael Hunts, yes, this game needs head radio. Anyways, we've got a little bit of a convoy going on here. No point of establishing a convoy ourselves. Convoys are kind of pointless. I think they bring you towards XP boards and stuff, I think.
400 yards.
But
Turn left.
other than that, I'm not too sure. There's also a Volvo in this little convoy here, which is cool.
200 yards.
Do like the Volvo
Turn
Polestar.
right.
Good little car. Or, well, medium-sized
Turn
car.
right.
Medium-sized family saloon car. There you go.
In 200 yards.
Although I think the
turn
new one's
sharp
probably
left.
like slightly bigger than my Accord is.
Turn sharp left.
Alright, the construction site.
200 yards.
Again, host
Turn
to
right.
another big landmark of this game.
Turn
Was the
right.
construction site. Many a meet had gone on here. Many a cat and mouse game had appeared here as well, which was often quite fun. Cut across, and okay, never mind, it's on the top level. Fuck me. Apparently this is bucket list 27. The numbers really do not make sense. What do the numbers mean, Mason? I don't actually fucking know. Anyways, up at the top of here we have got a Ford RS200. I almost thought it was an AW11 for a second, I'm not going to lie. I think just because it was white and mid-engined. Of course, that one Group B car that everyone remembers, and yet it never actually did much at all of anything in Group B itself. Other than it is partly responsible for the reason the Group B no longer exists, after it killed several fans and also its own driver. And then Lancia looked at that and said, "Watch this!" And then Group B did die. Anyways, this shouldn't be too bad. Of course, the RS200 is a tiny little all-wheel drive turbocharged rally car, so it should be able to throw itself around quite well. As usual, sideswipe skills are what we are looking for the most here, although pretty much any skill is good enough. There we go, knock over some barrels with the arse end of the car. I would have kind of liked to keep the skill chain going, but never mind. We do have a ramp here though, so let's launch ourselves off into some cones. Ah, there we go, we do get crash landing for that, which is good, because that's what I wanted. And that should get us to the skilled target, I would imagine. So we can just go ahead and stop here. Wait for that to come in, and there we go. Of course, as usual, not really worth a whole lot of credits, it's more worth the fan interaction you get from it. Although we do get a level up. So we will be able to spin ourselves for a prize, see what we can get a hold of. Not all that much, but money's money. But the fan reward does make it worth it. Of course, the fans, you might have noticed, the fan goal has gone up rather significantly, but as you go on with the game, the more fans you have, the easier it is to attract more of them, if that makes sense. It does become a lot easier as the game goes on. There is another PR stunt down here, so let's go ahead and discover what that is.
Turn around.
It's quite a drive away, but we will be able to pull off some shortcuts, methinks.
In 400
The
yards.
RS200 had the largest impact in Group B. Enlighten me. Pretty sure you're only saying it as a joke,
Turn
but still.
around when it is safe
I
do
love
so.
to be enlightened.
Recalculating route.
I thought that was a river then, but no, it's actually a road. Are you overdoing the barn finds? Yes, I'm going to collect them eventually, but I kind of want to do it when they put me more in that area. I'm not going to drive out to the middle of nowhere. The impact was on the crowd. Whomp whomp whomp.
In 400 yards.
But yeah, I'll do the barn finds just when we get more out towards there. If I come across them in my path, then I'll
Turn right.
go and get them, but we haven't so far, so I'm not going to go out my way
100 yards.
to grab it. That's a very orange ute. I approve, but that is very orange.
Turn right.
I guess it succeeded in its point of not making me hit it though, so I guess that's always a bonus.
In 400 yards.
Mini,
Bear left.
sorry, a bit. Not a lot though. I think the Mini's supposed to be quite popular in Australia, which is
200
weird to me.
yards. Turn
I
left.
always did wonder why it was a traffic car in this game, but now I wonder no more. Of course, you do get a little bit of XP for discovering the roads, but not really a whole lot.
In 200 yards.
Yes, I did pick the Ute as the starter car. Made the most sense.
Turn right.
Alright, what do we have over here? It's a Ute. Another one.
You have arrived at your destination.
What do we got to do this time? Experience Australian madness in the HSV Maloo. I do love seeing what Australian madness may be in a Ute. Go to the drift zone and beat the target. Shit, this game has Band of Skulls in it. Huh. Okay, maybe I do have to listen to the radio station at some point. Anyways. The drift zone isn't too far away from here. It is very rainy. It is the same Ute, yes. Not like the exact same because it's a different colour, but yeah, for all intents and purposes, it is the same Ute. What Ute did you start the game with? I Uted with a Ute. So apparently we just get 1,000 score by default, which is very strange. Also, I'm not sure if this counts towards the fan total by doing this PR stunt during this, because I don't think it's technically unlocked, but there we go. Anyways, as previously mentioned, not a whole lot other than some extra fans to pick up from there. But nevertheless, something is better than nothing, I guess. Something's always better than nothing. Progress to the final showcase is 1%. Terrific. Alright, is there any other question marks on the map? There is but one more in Surfer's Paradise, and then we are done for this episode. And we will head back and upgrade the festival, ready for the next episode.
In 200 yards. Turn right.
Let's cut across some trees. Get out of the way, trees. Fuck. Get out of the way, trees. Smash. Oh shit, the bed. Volvo. Sorry, Volvo. Might have slightly killed Volvo. Poor Volvo.
In 400 yards. Turn left.
In 400 yards, turn left. I will. Oh shit.
Turn left.
Sliding more so than usual. I think the rain is... I'm fairly certain this is a drift zone up here, so the rain will probably help us incur that one slightly better. There's a
200 yards.
M3 going for a little bit of a drift do there.
Keep left. In 400 yards.
Also, I think before we end off the episode, I will also take a quick look at the skill tree
Turn right.
to see what's going on there.
Turn right.
I will say as well, just another thing, seeing the orange as the highlighted colour for getting skills and stuff is very weird after getting accustomed to whatever the hell Horizon 4 uses, and I'm fairly certain it was different beforehand.
We're calling these ones drift zones. Turn in hard and use your e-brake to drift as far as you can between the flags.
I like how it keeps telling me to use the e-brake during drift zones, like, yes, I'm well aware that is an option that could be partaken. Also, this is the game which forced them to start ghosting the traffic in drift zones because people got very angry with them. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible attempt, but
Those were my idea.
there you go.
Fans don't come to Horizon to cheer for traction control.
No one cheers for traction control, sweetheart. Alright, there we go. I guess we shall head ourselves back to the festival then. But before we do, we'll have a quick look in the skill shop, see if there's anything that interests us. None of that seems particularly interesting. I will take some XP, I think. XP is always good. Should we take an instant wheel spin as well? Try our luck. VIP bonus does not apply to it, but nevertheless, we will give it a go, see what we get. And get 40,000 credits. And I thought we might get another one for the XP bonus, but apparently We do not, so
400 yards.
we will continue on our merry way. Yeah, the RCF hasn't actually been that bad a vehicle, in all honesty. I kind of thought it might be a bit of a terrible choice, considering, but
100 yards. Keep left.
no, it's actually been pretty alright. Can't really complain all that much about it. And again,
When it is
it does have one of the most fantastic wings in this game, so we can't hold
left.
anything against it for that, so hooray for you, a big winged boy.
100 yards. Keep left.
There's a little bit of drift.
In
And
100 yards.
yeah,
Turn right.
we will upgrade the festival next time. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.